back to a new video and happy Halloween. Today is Halloween. I'm uploading this video on Halloween, so I just want to wish you all a very happy Halloween. And this jumper looks a little bit big for me because this is Josh's jumper. I came up here into the loft area to set up the video and I was like, it is cold, it is freezing. And the other day my car was iced over. We're getting into the cold wintry weather now, so I just grabbed the first warmer thing, so you know. But yes, so this is going to be a spooky would you rather tag, and so I thought it really fit well to upload this on Halloween. And I was tagged by Brews and Reviews, whose video I will link down below so you guys can check that out. And initially this was kind of a book tag that circulated around, however they did it for books and films, so I'm going to do it mostly for films, bar like one question. Because a couple of questions I've kind of changed to be more film related than book related. So the original questions were slightly different and I've changed I think 2 of them, maybe, I don't know. We will see. So let's just get right into it. The first question is thrillers or supernatural, which would you rather? Okay, so when I first heard this question I obviously think of the show Supernatural, which is now one of my favourite shows. But if we excluded the show, which obviously is very supernatural based, it's got lots of supernatural things going on, if we kind of excluded that, I feel like I'd say thrillers in a movie setting, but as a whole I feel like I would have picked Supernatural because I love the show so much. I love all the supernatural goings on. But if we were just to focus on films, I would say thrillers. I really enjoy thriller films, probably more so than supernaturals, but maybe that's just because I don't watch many supernatural films, I wouldn't say. I definitely watch a lot more thrillers, so I'm going to go with thrillers on that one, again if we're excluding supernatural. And the next one is ghosts or zombies. Okay, so I'm going to go with zombies because I really loved Train to Busan and The Girl with All the Gifts that came out this year. Well, no, they came out on Blu-ray this year. You guys know what I mean. And I loved both of them. They're both zombie films. I also really like Shaun of the Dead. And that's a zombie film. So I do quite like zombies. But I haven't seen The Walking Dead. So I wouldn't say like I'm a huge zombie fanatic or anything. But I think, then again, that's a TV show and we were excluding TV shows a minute ago, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But yeah, in terms of films, I definitely think zombies. I feel like before Train to Busan and Girl with All the Gifts, I might have said ghosts, but now that I've seen those, I loved them so much, I'm definitely on the lookout for more zombie films. And I feel like I don't watch many ghost films. I can't really think of many ghost films. When you say ghost films, the ones that come to mind are the paranormal activity films, and they're not even that great, so yeah. Zombies. The next question is vampires or werewolves. This was an easy one for me. I definitely want to go with the vampires. I love vampires. I think they're really awesome. I think that they're very interesting. And 2 vampire movies that I really enjoyed and really love. We got The Lost Boys, which I loved. I hadn't seen it until this year. Or was it last year? No, I think it was this year. And I loved it so much. And I can't wait to rewatch that one a million times in the future. And I also really liked What We Do in the Shadows, which is a really interesting film about vampires. So I definitely love like vampire films and prefer them. However, I don't really think I've seen many werewolf films. I can't really think of any. I can think of them, but I haven't seen them. Like an American Werewolf in London. What is that film called? And that other werewolf film. What are these werewolf films? So in my mind I've got some werewolf films that I haven't seen them. Just generally werewolf. What's that film called? You know, the kind of classic one? Who knows what I'm saying. Either way, I haven't really seen any werewolf films, if any. Oh, bar like Twilight, which has both, I suppose. But I'm really not counting Twilight as a contestant in the debate. So yeah, vampires. The next question is witches or demons? Okay, again, well actually no, this is an easy one. When I think of demons though, I think of Supernatural, because Supernatural is all about hunting demons. So again, if we ignore that, but I think even if we did, I would still pick witches because I love witch films. Practical Magic is one of my favourite films of all time. It's fantastic. It's all about witches. I love it. There's a lot of other witch themed films that I really like. Most of the witch themed films I like are kind of just fun, easygoing films, not like horror. But I don't know, is there any witchy horrors? I don't know. But yeah, I love fun witch films like Hocus Pocus, you know, fun things like that. Witches are awesome and I really, really love them. So that was probably the easiest one of those ones really, really fun, Witches. Okay, so the next one was one that I couldn't really change to be a movie one. It was read a book with 13 chapters or with a black cat on the cover, and obviously this is all to do with superstitions and stuff, and I don't think I would notice or bother either of them. I'm not really bothered by the number 13, and I used to have a black cat and things like that. The only like superstitious thing that I do, I suppose you'd say, is touch wood. Like if I say, oh, I don't know, I feel like I do it every day. If I say, oh, and I'll go, oh, touch wood, and I'll touch wood, or sometimes it won't even be wood, I'll just touch something or touch wood. Like that's something that I do a lot. But these two I'm not really bothered about. But I would pick read the book with a black cat on the cover because I like cats, so that would be that choice. Okay, so the next one I changed to be a film. It was originally a book, so it made more sense maybe in the book version. It's watch a film by candlelight or in a fully locked lit room. And obviously I'd pick candlelight because I don't like watching films with the lights on, because does anybody watch films with the lights on? Always turn all the lights off to watch a film. And obviously we're talking about spooky films, and you've got to turn the lights off to watch the spooky films. And I think reading a book, I would pick the fully lit room because I don't like not being able to see very well when reading. So I guess it would be different if I was doing the book one. But for a movie, definitely candlelight, or if possible, just no light. The next one is a really weird question, and it's face your worst fears, or does it say fear? Well, face your worst fear, or be trapped in the mind of a serial killer. Now, Brews and Reviews brought up some interesting points. Is this has no rules, like how long have you been in the mind for the serial killer for? Do you have any control of the mind? Like, what are these rules? So I feel like I don't know the answer to this question, because as well, equally, I have like multiple different fears. Would I have to face all of these fears, or would I just get to pick one, or would it be randomized? Like, I don't know. So I feel like I don't know the answer. This is where, like, you know, the general would you rather game where people are like, would you rather eat a worm or put your foot in the fire? Like, that was just the random first thing that came to my mind. I feel like I'm always terrible at those, because I'm like, well, I wouldn't do either, and it's not going to come up. That's me. I'm that person who ruins that game. I'm like, well, this isn't going to happen, so I don't really know. I don't want to pick, like, would you rather eat a worm, put your foot in the fire? Like, I don't know. I'm changing the question completely. I suppose, like, the rules here, can you cook the worm? How long have you got to put your foot in the fire for? Like, these games just have no rule there. So I don't know the answer to this question. And so I guess it's a bit of a cop-out. I'm sorry. I just don't know. I can't pick because I don't know the rules. So yes, and I can't pick between the worm one or the fire one either. If you're watching this video and you've gotten to this point in the video, please comment down below. Would you rather eat a worm or put your foot in the fire? We started to think now. That was literally the first thing that popped in my head. I don't know if you've ever played that Would You Rather game. I remember when I was a kid, people used to play it, and I think I've just seen people generally kind of play it. Like, it might be like little cards. I think you can actually get a game of it. Anyway, this is kind of where this tag's come from, obviously. I thought this is the only one that's like, well, like, has that whole questionable problem. Anyway, moving on to the next question. Watch a scary movie or read a scary book? Now this one's interesting because obviously I typically pick watch a scary movie because I actually don't read many horror books. However, I did once read this book called 172 Hours on the Moon, and while it isn't a horror book, it gets very spooky and creepy towards the end, and I completely loved it. And the way that my mind like imagined this creepy atmosphere was perfect and amazing, and I really enjoyed that. So I really think I should read more spooky horror books. I feel like I'd really enjoy them, which is just something that I don't tend to do in a genre that I don't tend to read in. So I do want to try and do that more. So maybe I'd pick that one on like a just general one-off. But typically, if I was just to pick what I would do more, I'd obviously typically watch horror movies. The next question is, would you rather watch spooky movies only in autumn or all year round? And this is actually a really interesting question because I've been thinking a lot about this lately. I set myself a selection of movies that I really wanted to watch for October, you know, for upcoming of Halloween, and I kind of felt really disappointed because I hadn't watched many and I hadn't really achieved watching the horror films. I know some people do like 31 days of horror movies and things like that, and I kind of really wanted to get into the season and get into the spirit, and I felt like some nights I wasn't in the mood for a spooky film or a horror film, or sometimes I really was, and it was just kind of mixed. And so I feel like I'm definitely always a mood watcher, so I'd rather watch them all year round, because then, you know, in December I might think, yeah, I want to watch, you know, whatever, and it'd be like a spooky horror movie and it wouldn't really matter to do with theme. The only exception to that would be Christmas movies. I watch Christmas movies November, December, and not anywhere else in the year, bar maybe Elf. I've watched Elf, like, not at Christmas time. But yeah, Christmas movies, I just watch them at Christmas. But I think like Halloween horror movies, or even like just spooky movies, like say Paranorman, things like that, I could watch all year round happily, and it doesn't really bother me. So I definitely pick all year round. And the next question is kind of similar, and it's like, would you rather watch 10 horror movies in October or 10 throughout the whole year? And I thought about this and I was like, well, 10's not very many. And then I thought, well, actually, as a genre, I don't really watch many horrors. And you guys probably noticed this. I used to, years ago, really love horrors. It was one of my probably more favourite genres, to be honest. And then I kind of just found a lot of them I just don't really enjoy and are a bit So I probably will say 10, because I probably only watch 10 throughout the year, sorry. Because I probably only watch 10 horrors throughout the year anyway. And that's if we're not including just spooky Halloween ones, because I feel like those, I watch more of, like, say Hotel Transylvania obviously wouldn't count in that. I'm counting them as like 10 horrors throughout the year. But yes, that was the video. Hopefully you guys had fun with it, and I'd love to know some of your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to know what you're doing for Halloween, and if you're having a happy Halloween. I'm just really excited. I want to get this spooky video up for you guys. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and thank you to Brews and Reviews for tagging me in this video, and I will see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Bye!